right, let's do this one last time.
Oh, my God.
What's up YouTube, Anthony Olan here, and welcome to another First Impressions, and today we're talking about Stellar Blade, not a demo just released on PlayStation 5, and I've been excited for this game for a while, mostly because it was a big mystery for months and months, and then we recently had the PlayStation presentation, their state of play, their own direct if you will, and they did show quite a bit with their gameplay presentation, and we did get a bit more context about the game and what it's about. Now, I still don't really know what exactly is going on with the story in this game, other than possibly mankind abandoned Earth and they send these android warriors, if you will, to fight this, I guess, alien race that has been invading Earth. If that sounds familiar, it is pretty similar to Nier Automata in quite a few ways, and I guess that's where the inspiration came from. I do believe someone who worked on this game did have either some type of connection with Nier Automata. Either he worked on the game or he was inspired by the game to make this one. And there is some clear inspiration here. Now, I do want to say that with the demo, it was pretty good. About an hour or so of content you'll get from the demo. And of course, your save progress from the demo will carry over to the full release when it drops in mid or end of April. And I gotta say, with this game, there is some things I felt I can compare to some of the other recent games that we have gotten on PlayStation 5, more specifically Rise of the Ronin and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And I'm not going to do too much comparisons between the three games, only where it matters, which would be visuals and combat. And I want to start with the visuals because I would say that Stellar Blade is somewhere in the middle between Rise of the Ronin and Final Fantasy Rebirth, with Rise of the Ronin obviously being on the lower end of that spectrum, don't question why, and Final Fantasy Rebirth being on the positive end of that spectrum. And then Stellar Blade is in the middle but closer to Final Fantasy in terms of visuals and performance than it would be closer to Rise of the Ronin. This game from the demo looks pretty good, just not as amazing as some of the things that I've seen in Final Fantasy Rebirth. Now, the character models do look great, not just talking about that aspect that they really clearly focused on, but just in the face animations and the smooth gameplay and the combat, the exploration, everything just looks great. It runs smoothly, and that's a positive, especially for the current console generation. Games should look and run great and not run poorly. Now, when it comes to the combat, I will say combat is a bit closer to Rise of the Ronin in terms of the difficulty. It's not super challenging, but there will be challenging moments, at least from the demo. You know, it could change with the full game, of course. We could see much more challenging moments. But there was some similarities in the concept of combat where you have to do your blocks and your parries and your dodging, and you have to do your perfect parries to deflect the attacks, perfect dodges, that kind of thing. So that did kind of help me kind of do pretty good with combat in Stellar Blade because I've been playing Rise of the Ronin for the past few days. And that's kind of where the comparison kind of ends with combat for now, because the demo only gives you such a small amount. But I will say there is going to be, from what I can tell, a huge variety with combat because you're going to get various different weapons, and they're all pretty much futuristic weaponry, and that's pretty cool, as well as the customization options. I don't know the extent of customization for Final Fantasy Rebirth, probably just weapon, and that's it. Whereas Rise of the Ronin, you do get armor sets and weapons that you can change, and of course in Stellar Blade they have shown that you can change the character's appearance with like hairstyles and different armors and costumes, so that's pretty cool as well. Now with the combat in Stellar Blade, you do also have these moments in boss battles where you have to do a QuickTime event. I don't mind QuickTime events. I actually think they are pretty cool if they're done correctly. We have seen some pretty poor QuickTime events in previous games. I know like the Spider-Man 3 movie game was notorious for being really bad at them. And then the Naruto Storm games are pretty good with the QuickTime events. And Stellar Blade does a pretty good job with it. It doesn't rush you to press the button in like 2 seconds, but you still have a timer that you have to press it before you fail. Haven't failed the QuickTime event, which is good, but I have died a couple of times in combat, so there is that challenge still present there. Sound quality was pretty great. The music is pretty good. The sounds of the combat and the characters, they sound really great. So that's all awesome. But when it comes to visuals, because the game is supposed to be open RPG, maybe open world. I don't know how massive the world is supposed to be or how open the world is, and I don't know how linear the game is. But from the visual standpoint, it visually looks better than Rise of the Ronin in terms of how the quality is. But it is a post-apocalyptic world, so everything's in ruin and destroyed and crappy, whereas Rise of the Ronin is not post-apocalyptic. It is in a previous historical era, so things are put together, things are built and not destroyed and not alien filled. But the problem with Rise of the Ronin is that it looks drab and washed out, and just the textures are poor, whereas in Final Fantasy everything looks clear and crisp and gorgeous. So that's why I said Stellar Blade is kind of in the middle, because the game looks great, but the world is kind of destroyed and messed up, so that's kind of where we sit here. But aside from that, there is of course the skill tree that you unlock new abilities, one of which was really cool, where if you dodge the attack at the perfect time, you would teleport behind your enemy and you can just wail on them. There's also more follow-ups for your perfect parry, where you can do extra damage. You can reduce an enemy's balance a bit more. Balance is I guess a feature in this game where if you reduce an enemy's balance, you would knock them on their ass, and then you can then do more damage. There's also other abilities like getting up from a hit quicker than normal. Kind of a weird thing to make that an ability and not just press circle or something to get up quicker, but that's what they chose to do, whatever. So there is quite a bit of variety with combat as well, because of the skill trees that you can go to and unlock different abilities and skills as you progress through the game. So I am really looking forward to unlocking more abilities and seeing what works best for a play style. So that's going to be really interesting. But beyond all that, what I do want to talk about with this game in particular is what they're trying to do with this story, because it does show clear inspiration from games like Nier Automata, and there is kind of this talk about this game is like the I believe it's the Neo franchise, if not Neo, Sekiro, or rather it's Sekiro meets I guess Nier Automata type of thing, and I think that's mostly with Sekiro combat combined with the concept of Nier Automata, which is fine, and I am very interested to see where the story goes and what exactly is going on in this world. But can we talk about the physics and those mechanics, the jiggle mechanics, because they clearly focused a lot of time on that. And there's a lot of comments about this game in terms of like, this game is woke or it's anti-woke, and this game is pissing off these players, and this game is exciting these players. And it's like, it's just a game about androids fighting aliens. Turn off your brain and play the game. Don't think too much about it. If you want to just stare at the stuff and make a comment about it, you do you. But they chose to do that, and it is what it is. But when it comes to the games of this year, it is hard to tell which game so far would be the game of the year. We don't know which game is pretty much going to take that win, with the exception of maybe Final Fantasy Rebirth, and I don't know what's releasing the rest of this year. I have no idea. But with Stellar Blade, I think it could be a potential competitor for a Game of the Year title, but there's still so much that we don't really know because we haven't seen a lot. We did see a lot from the presentation they showed us the last couple months ago, but there's still more that we don't know, and the demo was only about an hour, as I said, so there's a lot that can come out of this game. But I'm excited to see what happens, and I love the idea of these demos carrying the save progress for the full game because it won't cost you anything to try the demo, and when you beat the demo, hey, I don't have to redo all this crap when I get the game. I can just skip this and continue, so that's awesome. But let me know in the comments what you think about Stellar Blade. Did you try the demo? Are you excited for this game? Do you think it sucks? Are you just one of those people who are like, battling the whole woke, anti-woke, whatever thing? Let's not have a political debate in the comments. I don't do politics. I don't give a shit. But let me know in the comments what you think about Stellar Blade. Let me know if you played the demo. Let me know if you plan to play the demo. And let me know if you're going to buy the game at release. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Anthony Olan, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.